You are listening to Max Pew, an actual play RPG podcast. Max Pew follows continuous storylines that are best enjoyed from the beginning. This Extra Life content was recorded in a public venue, previously aired during the Team WV Fox Marathon stream on May 4th, 2019, and may contain spoilers for its associated work. The following content may contain mature themes and adult language. Please enjoy Part 1 of One Night Only.
So, Starfinder, for everyone, the half listener that we have right now, Starfinder is a science fiction themed role-playing game published by Paizo, who does Pathfinder, which was kind of like our 3.5 ed kind of what we're going on. So, Starfinder, there are 7 classes. First of all, we have Mystic. So our Mystic is kind of the magical class. In Starfinder, it's kind of a blend between your Wizard and your Cleric. So some of them are sort of like religious themed, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. We have the Operative, which is probably as close to a rogue as you're going to get in this game. They actually have something called Trick Attack, which is like the equivalent of a sneak attack. We have a Technomancer, which again is a magical class, but it's more on the tech-related spectrum, so all your computer technologies. We have the Envoy, which is sort of a blend of Bard and Rogue. There's a lot of skills, a lot of like party buffs. We have the Mechanic. Imagine if the Druid had robots as their animal companion. We've got the Solarian, which the best way to describe it is kind of the Jedi, or sort of like in Mass Effect. It was like the engineering classes that could use their magic to like augment their armor, but could also use their magic to augment like their weapons and stuff. So almost like a bio as well. And we have the Soldier, which is like the equivalent of a fighter. They're going to be proficient with all weapons and all armor, and kind of be your tankiest.
Bashing stuff.
Yeah. So, Robert, what's got your interest?
Bashing stuff.
Bashing stuff.
I feel like there's less for me to do wrong.
We've got an Obaziah to party.
How you can tell you're doing it right is before you go in to fight the final boss, you turn on her big holographic banner showing her family tree, and you go, for honor, and smash things.
So what are you thinking, Brandon?
I'll take the rogue-ish class.
Okay, so you're going to have the Operative. All right. And we'll talk about how that Trick Attack kind of works when it becomes relevant.
Sure.
We're going to be doing Theater of the Mind, though. Actually, I might be the one that needs the minis because I might use that for initiative tracking.
We don't need minis?
Really cool.
No, we're going to do Theater of the Mind because... So we got Obaziah, we got an Isif. All right. Eric, what do you have in mind?
I'll play the Envoy.
Envoy. So we got Navasi.
Thank you.
No. That one. I saw similar characters here. What do you want, Matt?
Give me one. I don't care.
Give you one? Roll a d4. You had one job.
I have 3. Hey, I have a question for you.
Twig.
Quick it is.
So, we have a Mechanic, an Envoy, an Operative, and a Vest. We're not going to let silly things like magic slow us down.
Mm-hmm. I have grenades. I can cast Fireball, too.
Yeah. It's a special type of fireball. And they refresh once per visit to the shop. So, this adventure is something I've written called One Night Only. So, you all are not members of the Starfinder Society per se. You all right now are sort of part of a larger mercenary / private military company type thing that gets contracted out to do particular jobs. And you know that your job that you've been contracted to do is to work security for a major event on Akiton. Now, Akiton is the Starfinder equivalent of Mars in our own solar system. So it is a red planet. It's the fourth one from the sun. But kind of the best way to describe... I always think of it as sort of like Mad Max. And Matt usually describes it as John Carter.
Yeah, Barsoom from John Carter.
Yeah. So it's somewhere in that area. You know that you have been tasked with doing security for some type of event on this planet. So as you're on your shuttle, making your way towards the outskirts of one of the major Akiton metropolises, how about everyone introduce yourselves to one another? We'll start with Quig.
I'm Quig. I'm a Yosoki bounty hunter, and this is my drone buddy.
It's on the second page.
There it is.
I forget what its name is.
Yeah, this is my drone Scout.
It looks like basically a quadcopter with hover jets instead of blades.
It's like, yeah,
It's
not here to fix anything that you wreck and loot everything along the way, as long as the pay is good. Let's hope this security gig is easy.
All right, Isif.
I am Isif. I am an android hybrid. Just here to have some fun. What is fun? I do not know. I'm here to learn what fun is.
There's a song in there somewhere.
Define fun. Searching.
What?
Alexa.
What is fun?
It's still spinning. It's still spinning.
Yeah.
Fun,
The data sphere connection is terrible out here in
fun
the
not
desert.
found.
Oh.
Yeah, no kidding.
Obadiah, tell us about yourself.
Me, Obadiah. Me, strong, independent woman. Me like killing. Me want to kill. Let's kill.
What are we killing specifically? Time, beers?
People.
All right.
Creatures. We kill.
Is it in your programming to kill?
And Navasi.
Yes.
My name's Nabasi. I'm a female human outlaw envoy, and I'm here to make some money.
All right. Well, thankfully, this PMC has done very well to secure said money for you all, and hopefully this will be a lucrative job for you all. You land in Akiton and are pointed towards... You land almost like in the middle of the desert. There's like not really much, it's like far as the eye can see, north, south, and east is nothing but desert. But to the west, you've got what appears to be a massive like tent city. And it's impressive. Like there's just a large crowd there, a large tent city, and you can hear the noise from like the several, 1,000 feet you are from the actual you make your way towards the event, and the sun beats down during a cloudless day, the waning atmosphere doing little to stave off the midday heat. Your environmental suit is a blessing in this heat, though the lightly clothed revelers do not seem to be bothered by the temperature. You stand under one of the several canopy tents, this one labeled Security Headquarters. An agender android stands at the head of the group assembled within. Welcome to Battle in the Bush. In spite of the name, we hope to keep this event as nonviolent as possible, and we do so with the help of individuals such as yourself. You've all come to us highly recommended with glowing references and recommendations. We will be sure to put your skills to good use. The android points to itself. I'm named Clef, and I'm responsible for mustering security for this event. I do so by monitoring your relative position on the festival grounds and your submitted skill sets to determine the best course of action for larger incidents. As long as you or your contractor do not embellish your abilities, you should find your experience over the next few days to be quite engaging. Since this day is still young, I would encourage everyone to begin doing some routine security sweeps to familiarize yourself. Wow, I'm the one that wrote it. Familiarize yourself with the grounds and make yourself visible to the attendees. If anything arises, I will inform you.
I blame the editor.
Yeah, the editor's pretty poor on this one too. So anyone have make a culture check, or if you've got like profession musician, you can make that as well. Culture is going to be an intelligence-based check if you do not have culture as a skill.
I got skill. 19.
19. Okay. So, a 19, what that tells you is that Battle in the Bush is an annual music event held in the outskirts of Akitonian. This is the 4th annual Battle in the Bush, and while the first year that it kind of was established, it was sort of a battle of the bands type thing, but by year 2, it had just this explosive growth. So they decided, and instead of like a battle of the bands, maybe it should just be like a music festival, because they really liked the type of event that it had created, and it's just kind of taken off since. So the best way to kind of describe it is almost like Burning Man. So there are quite a few acts, or it's not a list of bands that are at this event. I'll wait for Drana to go through some of the bands, but some of the headliners are Abyss Head, Cutlass, and Scattergun are some of the headliners for like this massive musical event. So you've got a lot of people that have come from large distances for this musical festival, both local as well as like from different planets. You've got a lot of Shalenite worshippers coming here because, you know, it's a big mass music festival, and it's not happening on Songbird Station, which is kind of novel. So, you know, it's not like a big indoor arena type. It's, you know, like outdoors and kind of very intimate, and like, you know, being, you know, the harsh weather and stuff like that. Just, you know, it draws a certain type, but there's a bit of prestige for being able to say like, yeah, I've been to Battle of the. So you all have been asked to basically acquaint yourself with the grounds, because there's not really too much going on, just some of the minor musical acts at the moment. Okay. So, yeah, you can just kind of explore the area if there's anything you'd be interested in checking out.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess we could, you know, go see who's playing and where the concessions are and stuff.
Okay. So,
I mean,
okay. So the grounds themselves, there's quite a few. There's not really like official food vendors as much as there are just a lot of people like cooking food. And
I've been to a place like that.
And basically almost like a barter system, really. Like you don't see a lot of credits changing hands at these places, but rather like other items or, you know, favors or trinkets or anything like that. So it's like almost a goods-based barter system. Mm-hmm. You imagine that credits would still be good here, though they might be met with, you know, snide comments or something like that, or, you know, something.
Probably depends on what you're selling.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I doubt an accountant would have much to barter here.
Yeah.
right, but there are a lot of people that are offering, like goods and services and stuff like that, and you figure they're probably fair value as long as.
All right, so I'll fix your giant dragon-shaped bicycle in exchange for lunch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, that would be a very acceptable barter for some cases. There are 3 stages. 2 of them are kind of smaller and are sort of on the outskirts, and you figure a lot of this has to do not necessarily with, bless you, not necessarily with prestige, but more like noise pollution. So
Are they
that
playing? Is noise pollution here?
so as to kind of prevent like sounds from bleeding and stuff to like other musical acts. But there is one massive like stage, and you figure that's for like the big events in the evening, as well as some of the other acts, or maybe if there is any like competition or anything like that, that's kind of like the place to go. But that's kind of the visual we have here. In addition, there is like a symbolic, like big 10-foot statue that's kind of like there it's kind of like this centerpiece and almost like their unofficial mascot for Battle in the Bush. Just kind of their, if you've seen like any of the promotional pictures, like there's always one picture of this thing during the sunset with like the sun in the background, and it's just, it is kind of one of the things they have there. So, Ice, if we were talking about Battle in the Bush, it's basically a musical festival. And it's
I got that.
Okay, it's the 4th annual one. The bands that are currently scheduled for Battle in the Bush this year are Abyss Head, Cutlass, Rat King, Apotheosis, Plane of Fire, It's Holy Trinity, The Space Between, the Church of Shaylin's Boys Choir, the Drift Riders, Marie, Raitanengu Experience, Power Chord Kill, Skeleton Crew, Sugar and the Morning Glories, Choice Romeo, Java, Uprooted, Endless Summer, Signal Jammers, Aft Breach, Scattergun, Claws of the Fallen, Cheddarheads, The Light Fantastic, The Whalers, and Steely Drone. And I'll pass this around so you can see what type of bands they actually are, and you might have a few favorites in here.
I don't know. There's no Strawberry Machine Cake. I don't want any.
Well, that's a bit of a too big of an act for this, but you are getting Abyss Head.
Right.
So, which is kind of like the main headliner for this particular. Let's see here. Information about Abyss Head would probably be Professional Musician or Culture.
Hold on, isn't that the one whose
I've got the
bootleg record?
Yes.
I'll make a computer's check.
Yeah, actually, you can make a computer's check for this.
That'll be 23.
Yeah, so Abyss Head, you don't know as much about their music as you do about their marketing campaign.
It's a computer viral marketing campaign.
Yeah. So basically, they had put out a series of plush animals. And when you like squeeze this little tummy, it would play like a 30-second clip from their newest album. But at the same time, it was broadcasting a computer virus to all the electronic devices in the area that was basically like adware for like, hey, buy our album. Hey, you should buy our album. Get this album.
Yeah, it was like worse than YouTube giving every iPhone user their album.
Yeah. So it made the rounds on a lot of these like message boards for hackers and stuff because it was a novel distribution vector, but also it turned into tech support for how am I going to get this virus off my device.
I just like the fact that they are AgroSync, industrial scream metal, and the thought of these little plushies just doing 30-second clips of scream metal. I can't tell. I could never decide if AgroSync was aggression or agriculture.
With a name like Abyss Head, smart money's on aggression.
So, it's like, we wired up 20 farm combines and just ran small animals through them to
Oh, God.
Dark.
Sorry.
It's like, oh
Wait till
gosh,
it makes the 4 a.m.
is that one is that one Snakes and Barrels song that they did?
They're very literal about their work.
So, you all have your run of the place right now. Basically, you're trying to acquaint yourself with the crowd, I guess arena, for lack of a better official term for what this is. So yeah, you have your run of the place. What would you like to do?
Download complete. Rebooting.
Wait, what are you doing to yourself?
I was just running a firmware update.
You do not. This is the middle of the desert on Akiton. You don't trust the data sphere here under normal circumstances.
I now have their latest album.
Whose?
Abyss Head.
All of them. Don't know why it needs access to my motherboard, but
Just updated his firm.
uh-oh.
I'm kidding.
I don't. You better be.
Androids
That's
can-
bad news.
They can?
Androids can.
I've yet to see proof.
You just saw proof.
I've yet to see proof.
That was a joke. So, yeah, you got your run of the place here. There's a lot of crowd goers going in and out. We talked about the food situation. A lot of grilled meats and stuff going on here. So the smells are conflicting a little bit because it is hot. So you do have to deal with if you walk too close to certain people, you're going to kind of get this smell of body odor, but it passes quickly because you're in a large open area. It's not like you're inside the arena with this person. It's mainly if you get within 5 feet or something like that, it's going to be uh-oh. But there are the smells of cooking meat and some vegetables that are helpfully overcoming those more negative aromas that might be wafting in the air.
I kind of want to go check out the main stage before it gets too crowded
Okay.
to tactically see what's going on there.
All right. So you go up to the main stage. We'll say that right now, up on the main stage is a group of four individuals. They're all undead. So there's 2 Librians and a ghoul and a trying to think of the other race. It's the really bony one with we'll call it skeleton. Those are bony. I had a different one in mind, but you've got 2 Librians, a ghoul, and a skeleton, and they are singing Beatles-esque pop, right? So it's almost a little bit a cappella, but you've got one on a guitar-esque, you've got a percussionist, you've got a bassist, you've got one on keyboard, and they're all singing just golden oldies type Beatles-esque pop rock.
Early Beatles.
I want to hold your hand.
Yeah, just so
I want to eat your hand.
so it's entirely possible this band has been around pre-Gap. So they've probably been at this for a while, and they've got a pretty decent following because they've been around a while. They've got a lot of longevity. Everyone has practically heard of them. Your great grandparents have heard of this band because they've been around that long. And there hasn't really been much of a need for them to put out new music because their discography is probably about 25 deep at this point. Like Dodeca Platinum, like just...
They still haven't caught up with Jethro Tull.
Which I think is what Steely Drone is supposed to be.
Yeah.
They're playing. There's quite a few people like listening, and it did draw kind of like an older crowd, but there's a sense that this might be like literally a timeless band. So you've got a lot of people of all ages talking about, how, that they've done well to kind of like give EOX a good name and show that not everyone from EOX is, terrible, and, all this.
I've heard rumors about that ghoul, though.
There's always been rumors about that ghoul.
I heard they ate. I heard he ate the previous drummer.
So you've got you're listening, and there's a lot of attendees like having a good time here and talking about Skeleton Crew. You want to interact with the crowd or anything like that? Do you want to do anything else? That's kind of the musical act that's going on right now.
Well, I mean, we were sent to look around and see what's going on. Yeah, so
Okay.
I guess we should look for trouble. That's our job.
Make me a perception check.
Sorry.
14.
Oh my.
14,
12.
16, 12. Okay.
Let's see what my 26.
The drone got a 16.
Okay. 16 is going to be sufficient to be able to find this. So those of you who got 16 or higher, while this concert is going on, you see a pair of individuals. They catch your eye because they're acting a little bit strange, not necessarily in a bad way. One of them looks like they're about to pass out, and the other one's showing genuine concern and trying to like check on, like, "Hey, are you okay? Are you all right?" And almost like grabbing them to support their weight in case they do fall out. That way, they don't like face plant, but rather they try to let them down gently. But this is kind of happening like in the middle of the crowd, and like a lot of everyone else is sort of like caught up in the music, and they're not really paying attention to it much. But you just kind of see that because, like, you've got a lot of people with like, like lighters in the air or whatever going on. But these two are like really sticking out because they're not as engaged in this particular concert right now.
Kind of early in the event to be that trashed.
Agree.
Yeah,
If we
it is kind of early.
go over and see what's going on.
Yeah, I'll send the drone up to kind of keep an eye on everything around, and we'll kind of push our way through the crowd.
So you send the drone kind of
Yeah.
up to sort of scan the area. As y'all are approaching, again, the crowd's a little bit thick, so I mean, it's not as easy as making a straight line. You kind of have to zig. You sort of lose sight of them for a few seconds before you get to them, but like, I feel like at that point, the one that was looking a little off has probably like fallen down now, because now they're both on the ground and one, hey, what's wrong? What's wrong? Like, it kind of getting to the point where they're slightly panicking.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac wants to go about 15 feet from the group and keep a watch just around.
Okay.
If they're interacting with whoever fell down, Isaac's going to kind of watch their back and make sure that nothing's going to happen.
Obadiah, we're going to need some room.
I'm going to clear us a big space by basically just
Moshing.
not really damaging everyone, but just kind of making myself as big as possible.
Yeah, like broaden up the shoulders. And,
Yeah.
okay.
Put my scythe out here so that people know that I mean business.
Yeah, give me an intimidate check.
Oh,
You could do diplomacy too if you wanted to,
It's gonna
but
be in there.
depends on your vocal.
9.
9. Basic. You are essentially treated with the same disdain as someone that's like got the 2 beers in their hand at the concert and they're bumping into everyone like a jerk. You kind of get like, like what an a-hole type vibe, but
that fits.
But I mean, but you're still bigger than them, so you're still able to kind of clear a swath, but it's not necessarily as pleasant as you'd kind of hoped the interaction would be. They're not really going out of their way to assist you in this
Trip,
endeavor.
I've got toilet paper hanging out.
Where'd they even come from?
All right. Do either of you guys have medical training?
I've got a med kit.
That counts.
Okay. You come over to them, and I imagine you have some type of livery or badge or something like that identifies you as security.
T-shirt.
I mean, you can, yeah, like you can determine whatever you want. You probably got the T-shirt and ripped it just so you can, like a bandana around the neck or something. It's just yellow and it says Unity. Like,
like Bruce Springsteen.
You're like Survivor Man, turn your T-shirt into like a bandana. And just
yeah. The rest of it's hanging from the drone.
Sec. The person that kind of is conscious, for lack of a better term, kind of looks up, thankful to finally see some help. It's like, I don't know what happened. He started babbling. He's not feeling well, and I don't think he's unconscious. He just kind of fell out. And the guy goes, the guy that he's talking about is sort of laying there with his eyes sort of like bleary. Yeah, make me a perception or medicine check for this.
Sounds like it's working like it's supposed to. I got a 17.
17? A 17 sufficient to realize that it's not actually drugs. This dude is dehydrated.
Oh.
It is hot. Nobody here is wearing their environmental suits except for security because, that's just the nature of the event. No one brought their AC with them.
Well, since it's not drugs, then this man needs drugs.
It looks like his colon's low.
Yeah, he's low on colon.
I've got some antifreeze over here.
Pour those beers down his throat.
Oh, I'm out.
You can grab a long neck and pour it down. Okay.
Yeah, we'll find some, the aforementioned guy with the beer hat. We'll just.
We need this for medical reasons.
He says, I do too.
Hey, man, we're all self-medicating here. I imagine if one of you asks nicely, you might be able to acquire a beer in this.
Well, no, here. I have from my own rations. Here's a water bottle.
So you grab a water bottle, and you start to give that to him slowly. It takes a few minutes, but he starts to kind of come to something a little bit cooler in his body. But I mean, he probably needs more treatment than that. But you probably staved off any type of heat stroke or anything he may have been
Is there a medical tent?
Yeah, there's going to be some type of medical tent, but I mean, basically, you had staved off prevented any heat stroke or anything like that from overtaking him.
He's not going to convulse now.
Oh, well, that's good. I mean, that would have been entertaining, but
so once you get him hydrated and well enough to kind of walk a little bit, you all can sort of support his weight and take tent. And the other guy won't leave his side. It's his friend. So once you get in the medical tent, they start basically the sci-fi equivalent of an IV, which I guess is an IV. Now, if it were the fantasy equivalent of an IV, I don't know. But it's a little bit easier to abstract these things in sci-fi. It's just an IV.
I feel like one half the Bluetooth headphones, and they're just running over his head.
The dehydrated guy's friend will say, thank you so much. I had no idea what was going on. I mean, we had breakfast. I thought everything was fine. I guess he didn't drink enough or something. Tell you what, I don't have like any money, but good friend of mine, he's a tattoo artist. I can get you all tattoos if you want. For free. It's clean. He's a good guy. He does good art.
I think Isif needs it.
Don't know if the ink will stay.
Well, we can try harder. I mean, you can have mine too, in case you have to do it twice.
Sure.
So you all have received vouchers to get tattoo art.
That seems valuable here.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it would be in this setting.
Currency.
I mean, I have fur anyway. Waste.
Okay. So, what would you like to do now? There's still plenty of concerts to go around. There's still plenty to kind of walk around and check out and stuff.
Skirt the perimeter.
No, it's like what's on the outskirts and outside. Yeah, that's good.
Where it's going to be shadiest.
Excellent.
Maybe check where the parking lot is.
So you skirt the perimeter a little bit, and you run into something that looks like it might be, right up your all's alley. There's some attendees trying to come in, and there's two small figures in probably the rattiest environmental suits you've ever seen in your entire life, giving them grief, asking for money, asking just trying to prevent them from coming in. They're harassing these attendees. The attendees just want to come in, and it really looks like these two are just here to pick a fight. Or mug them or something. It's hard to tell. But I mean they're probably 3 feet tall. Harassing 5.5, 6 foot tall human attendees trying to get into
Do they see us approaching? Or are they too wrapped up in hustling these people?
No, everyone's kind of wrapped up in this because not even these passers-by are kind of noticed that
I
you're
want to
approaching.
stealth up behind them.
Okay, make me a stealth check.
Be 29.
That's a D12. I'll never get that high with that.
Yeah, ISIP's a ghost operative, which is SEAL Team Special Forces.
Okay. What'd you have, 29?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In spite of the fact there's not much cover to work with,
He just doesn't make a sound walking up behind him.
So you're soundless, and also that these creatures are kind of focused right here and have tunnel vision.
Yep.
So that back 180 degrees behind them is going to be perfect for some sneaking action. That being said, not even the bystanders are paying attention. They're literally sight line, and they are so focused on these two in front of them that they don't pay attention.
And Isif will, in his loudest mechanized voice that he can make, is there a problem here? Basically trying to scare them because they don't know he's there at that point.
Right. Give me an intimidate.
21.
21. Okay. Both of these small creatures. Okay. Ah! And then, reflexively, open fire. like you, I'm not even sure they turn around the whole 180 degrees before they've pulled the trigger. It's like a shot goes like wide out, like into the desert. So roll initiative.
All right.
Jesus. What's my initiative bonus?
I got it.
Okay, Isov, it's going to be near the top left of your sheet. Probably one of the first things you see on there.
Thank you.
I have an 18.
18.
I have a 10.
Okay. Quig
8.
and Navasi.
20.
Okay. So, Navasi, if you want to, you can give me a culture check to try to identify what these creatures are now that things are coming to a head.
Is 24.
24. So 24 is going to identify these as space goblin honcho heads. And I'll give you 3 pieces of information about them as a result.
Do they have any weaknesses other than being goblins?
I mean, that's pretty much the...
There's not much to know. What's the honcho head?
Poor breeding.
Honcho heads are not the CR 1/3 goblin. So I mean, they're a bit more practiced and a bit better armed, but like that's still strongly worded.
What kind of arms do they have?
So they have something called a junk laser.
Ugh.
That is unstable. Like it has the chance to just kind of break. They are currently wearing a tattered Aztec suit. They also have a dog slicer, which is like a pole arm with a big rusty blade. Really, there's not much else interesting about them other than they do have something called...
Here, I got something for these guys.
Okay. They've got something called Disturbing Screech. They can let out a screech that puts all non-goblinoid creatures within 30 feet on edge. You'd have to succeed at a will saving throw or gain the off-target condition.
It sounds a lot like them just talking.
It's a mind-affecting, sense-dependent effect. Yep. So...
It's hard for me to kill such pathetic creatures. I'll throw a sticky bomb at them.
Okay.
Oh, I rolled a 1.
Uh-oh.
Blew up my hand.
Uh-oh. So as you throw this grenade, I think you're kind of shocked at the suddenness of this combat, and you kind of reflex like, I'm going to throw this grenade. And like, you do the thing where like when you throw the baseball and you release it too late, and it like hits the ground like 5 feet in front of you. Thankfully, it's a safe distance away from everything, so nothing gets like stuck.
Okay.
But it is a pretty bad throw. Isif.
So if I understand this trick attack, I have to do a full action where I either make a bluff, intimidate, or stealth check.
Correct.
Yeah. So here's what happens: you take a full round action.
Yep.
You make one of those checks to see if you are able to successfully make this trick attack. But regardless, you still get to make your attack. It's just the successful trick attack gives them flat-footed condition and gives you bonus damage.
So I'm going to try.
You still get a normal move as part of that.
Yeah. But basically, how close did you get before you...
Probably 15 feet.
15 feet. So, okay, you're 15 feet from the pair of these goblins, and they're kind of side by side. They're within like 5 feet of each other.
So I'm going to try to... I'll close the distance as part of this trick attack, and I don't know if I can stealth since they're probably looking at me.
No, it's still fine. You can still use that trick.
So that
more a
would
function
be...
Catching them off guard.
Where's my
Actually
stealth? 25.
25 is successful, so they're going to be flat-footed to your attack.
And I'm just going with the knife.
Okay.
And I rolled a 1.
All right, so...
Just given 8 total.
Okay. So you do catch them off guard. The problem is you try to come in with like a stab, and these tattered Aztec suits are so bad, like the fabric that you're going after is so bunched up, the knife actually kind of gets stuck in the fabric, and it doesn't go through as cleanly as you thought it should. You're able to like yank your knife out, but you don't even like get into the actual creature at all with your attack. So it's the creature's turn, and they've got a victim right here next to them. They will both take a guarded step back, and they are going to shoot at you with their junk lasers. So does a 22 hit your EAC?
Yes.
Okay. So your two armor classes, there's KAC, which is your kinetic armor class, and your EAC, which is your energy armor class. So when you are using your knife, that is a kinetic weapon, so you'd be trying to hit their KAC. So both of these are actually going to hit you. So the first is going to do 5 damage, and the second is going to do 6 damage, and those are going to come off your stamina point first. So you should have a little line that has stamina points, hit points, and RP, which is your resolve points.
Yep.
These are going to come off your stamina first. Stamina are very easy to heal back. Basically, you take a short rest and spend a resolve point, you get all your stamina back. Hit points are a little bit trickier. They usually take like potions and spell ampules and stuff like that.
I'm good.
Okay. So they take these lasers that look like almost the equivalent of like Kylo Ren's lightsaber. It looks like it could fall apart at any moment, and like excess energy kind of vents off of it as they shoot this thing. But you get hit with 2 laser blasts as a result. Obadiah, is your turn. Isaac has made his approach to these goblins. The goblins kind of had to back off a little bit so they could safely fire at him. But that's kind of where you are right now.
So my movement speed is 35 feet. I would definitely want to get up closer.
Okay. I would say 35 would probably be sufficient to be able to get into the face of these creatures.
Okay. I'm going to move up and... I'm going to go melee with my...
The Doshko?
Flame Doshko. That's not great. So I rolled a 4, and I've got a bonus here though.
Yeah, it'll say Flame Doshko plus something.
Plus 7.
Okay, so you got an 11.
Yeah.
That won't be quite enough. They're a little too nimble. Okay. They see the big Vesk coming at them with this thing raised. They know what to expect. There's no surprises here.
That's fair.
So they're able to dodge pretty easily because you're really broadcasting what you're about to do to them. Quig, it is your turn.
All right.
Obadiah and Isef have made their approach.
So
you're still back here with Navasi.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of, I guess, since they're kind of blocking our line of sight, Quig is going to move around to the left to try to get around and get a good line of sight on one of these
circle
guys.
strafe it, yeah.
Yeah, but in the meantime, he's going to order Scout to basically go straight overhead of the top of these guys.
Okay.
To get a clear shot from below, and then order it to fire its pistol.
All right. Do a little airstrike action.
There we go. It's better at this than I am.
Oh,
that's a 19 on the die.
That's going to hit.
Yep.
There's no.
So yeah, 19 plus 7 is hurt.
Yeah.
And that's going to be 3 points of piercing damage.
3 points of piercing damage. It takes aim at one of the goblins and pops it. And it's almost like a bee sting because it wasn't expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, wow! Like, just like it hits it like right in the shoulder. So we're back at the top of the queue. Navasi, you are up. Quig just started sort of circle strafing around, leaving you kind of alone, and ordered the scout to pop it from.
Okay.
You're kind of alone here, and Isif and Obadiah are sort of up in the faces of goblins.
I'm going to pick one of the goblins and get him.
Okay.
And the one that's been hit, I guess.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take a shot at him.
Got it.
Does 7 hit?
It will not. Isif, it's your turn. You got a friend in the fight now.
What does get him do again?
+1 to hit.
Okay. Do you have that? Is it an operative trick that lets you ignore the pick one person, get a tax of opportunity from?
It's not on here.
Okay. It might be a later level thing. So, Obadiah...
Yeah, I have debilitating trick.
Okay, so we'll get into that when you do a trick attack. Obadiah is actually in the grill of one of these goblins, and flanking bonuses do exist in this game, and they would stack with like flat-footed. So, since you have the knife out, I just wanted...
Yeah, I'll strafe around, so I'm flanking. Probably take an attack from one of them. Maybe. I don't know how we're set up.
Well, actually, they've got the laser, so they can't really shoot you. Do an attack
well, then I'll flank.
Okay. So you can do your trick attack, so you can make that check.
Well, it's a nat 20 on trick attack.
So you get it. That's fine. So they're going to be
34 on
so they're going to be flat-footed, and you're flanking on this attack.
And you get a +1 from me.
So that'd be 14. That'd be 21.
That definitely hits. So you'll get to add your trick attack damage to this attack as well.
1, 7. So that will be 11.
11.
Nice.
Don't you have debilitating attack too?
Yeah, so you've got debilitating.
So whoever I hit is now flat-footed until the beginning of my next turn.
Yeah. So basically, they take a -2 to their armor class. That's a really significant bonus. So it is the goblin's turn now. One of them is essentially surrounded. Doesn't really have a good way to kind of back out. So they are going to drop their gun, grab their dog slicer, and Isif, since you hurt them the worst, and can't really reach the drone, they're going to slice at you.
A little bit.
Does a 23 hit your kinetic?
Yes.
Okay.
Reach for the sky.
It will slice you for 4 damage.
Is that SP?
That all comes off your stamina. When you run out of stamina, it'll start coming off your hit points. The other goblin who still has laser in hand is going to take a guarded step to create a little bit more space and is actually going to shoot at the Vesk, who seems to be an easier target. Will a 12 hit your EAC?
No.
Okay. So the goblin thinks it's got a good shot, and it just glances off the armor, shiny and angular as it is, and just sort of deflects off harmlessly. Obadiah, it's your turn. How are you gonna take that? You've got one goblin kind of in a pincer right now with Isif, and between the flanking bonus and it being flat-footed, it's actually going to have like an effective +4 bonus to your attack. Or you could go after, +5 because of get 'em. So it'd be pretty easy to hit this thing. Alternatively, you could go after the one that just tried to shoot you.
I'm going to go after the one that's right in front of me.
Okay.
And
so let's talk about rules here.
okay.
Everyone's able to make a full attack, which means you could attack this thing twice if you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
If you attack twice, you take a -4 penalty on both attacks.
Okay.
The reason I throw that out there is because you have such massive bonuses right now, you still stand a pretty good chance of being able to hit it twice. I'm just going to let you do what you want to do, but I want to let you know that since you've got so many bonuses right now, they kind of offset the penalty of being able to try to attack twice.
Yeah, you'd be a +1.
Yeah, you'd still...
Hold on. Is your Doshko still...
oh, wait. Does your
It's not unwieldy.
It's not unwieldy?
No, only I guess the first level
analog
one is.
one is.
Okay. Sorry. Low level Obadiah has a not flaming Doshko is a little slower.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
okay.
if a weapon has the unwieldy quality, you can't attack more than once with it. So, like certain like big guns or anything like that, it keeps you from being able to rip roar.
But they hit
in a
really
single
hard.
round.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do D12.
Yeah,
There's
but
an unwieldy axe,
I
though,
have that, so-
that does D12s
Yeah,
too.
take the multi-attack.
Yeah.
so you're
Yeah,
gonna try.
no, with the get 'em, you're still going to be +1.
Yeah,
off
you're
your
still to
normal
plus
roll.
one.
Was
Plus your pluses right here.
17
That'll hit.
Oh yeah,
and
bad day to be a goblin.
20.
Yeah. both of those will hit.
All right.
That's everything.
This goblin
See
just
for
got
some
face
damage.
balled.
Yeah.
That'll do, pig.
That is. Sorry, I'm looking at my flamethrower.
Oh yeah.
Also fun.
14
14.
and
Okay.
14.
So what happens is, you basically when you come down really hard with the first blow, and with a sickening crunch, like you come down like across its shoulder or something, and it sort of like slumps over, and you feel like you probably killed it at that point. So then your second swipe, it's sort of like a golf swing. Yeah, and with your golf swing, you actually behead, and with an extremely fortuitous and accurate aiming of this, the head hits the other goblin like right in the solar plexus. It catches it off guard. It's not dead or anything, but you do.
He shook.
He's
He's got the shaking.
in a big mood right now. Quig, that was disgusting.
That was completely disgusting. I just want you to know, you did good work.
Thank you.
You're my girl.
Obadiah came in here with a promise, and she is yet to let down.
All right. So I'm going to, both me and my drone are going to shoot the other one.
Okay.
Because shooting is fun.
Shooting is fun.
That's a kid's novel here on Akiton.
Yeah, in the United States as well.
All right. I hear it's a required curriculum in Texas. There's a pair of hits for you.
Okay. What was the
They're both semi-auto tacticals.
All right.
So it's going to be a 20 kinetic
okay.
and then a 23 kinetic.
Okay. I just need to check because they are a little bit more
Okay.
superior than regular gobos.
This is the drone's actually better than I am at it.
Flat, flat.
So that's a 6 and 6.
Okay,
Piercing.
so 12. All right, so it was bad enough that he got hit with his friend's head, but now he's getting shot twice by this drone with a
Yeah.
Glock attached to it.
Right? It's one person crossfire right here.
So we're back at the top of the queue. Navasi. This goblin looks to be in pretty bad shape, actually.
I'll go ahead and shoot at him twice.
Okay.
Kill him.
Big gambles over here.
16 on the first one.
What type of weapon is it?
It's kinetic.
Okay, so that will hit.
And I believe 15 on the second one.
As what you need.
All right. Let's see.
Big gambles.
Maybe we should fix the holes in their armor.
13 points of damage.
13 points is going to be sufficient. So this This goblin has had a rough 3 seconds. Only to be ended with a shot to the lung and like a shot to the head. And it falls over before it's able to let out any more disgusting words or screeches or whatever. Probably the best for everybody.
We hope you enjoyed this Extra Life content. If you are interested in updates from Team WV Fox, follow us on Facebook. In addition to event updates and details, there are opportunities to win some excellent prizes. If you would like to support Max Pugh and WV Fox, please visit bit.ly/maxpewpew to make a tax-deductible donation today. All donors supporting my donation efforts will be announced at the end of every Extra Life episode on Max Pew. This week, I would like to thank the White family, Jill, William, Nirmal and Newton, Scott, Matt, Christina, Taylor, Jason, Steve, the Drake family, the Elliott family, and our anonymous donors for their donation to Team WV Fox and Cincinnati Children's Hospital. I would also like to thank Hero Forge Custom Miniatures for donating a premium plastic miniature voucher. Please look forward to the official Team WV Fox Marathon event. Music provided by Tabletop Audio. 10-minute ambiances for games and stories. Find out more at tabletopaudio.com.